Welcome to a new daily top AskReddit video. Today's topic:
what simple mistake has ended lives? I read an article a long time ago about an aircraft maintenance worker not removing a piece of tape that was put in place to protect a sensor during cleaning. The pilot failed to notice during the pre-flight inspection. More than 100 people died in the plane crash. It was multiple sensors apparently. Pilot had no altitude, airspeed or air pressure. https://www.spokesman.com/stories/1996/november/05/duct-taped-sensors-led-to-plane-crash/. Fun fact. Those all come from the same sensor, the static pressure port. Although there are typically at least 3 static ports for redundancy. So yes, they covered all the static ports. Archduke Franz Ferdinand's driver making a wrong right turn down a side street. World War I had a lot of simple mistakes that cost lots of lives. We're going into battle like we always do. Riding a horse, in full dress uniform, with all its colors, and large plumes for better command and control. Quote, basic fact of war, people always try to fight it like the last one. What last one? Quote, the last really big one. Baby in the backseat. I'm in childcare and I'll do some insane things to remember there's a baby back there. Take my shoes off, put my phone back there, dirty diaper as a reminder. People forget. It doesn't matter if you're a mom, nanny, father, nurse, firefighter. It happens. And yet there's always someone who says, I'd never forget my baby. And every year babies die because of it. I didn't realize how easy this was. There are so many examples of this. It was a change in the routine. It's unbelievable how much muscle memory we use on our daily tasks and when one thing is off. Especially if you are sleep deprived. As might happen if you have a baby. When my son was about 7 months old in the middle of the summer, I was running a bit late for work and I was supposed to take my son to daycare, which my wife usually did. After I got him in his car seat, he fell back asleep and I got distracted and ended up driving the 45 minutes to my workplace. By this time it was 7:30 a.m. and the temp was already in the low 70s. So I grabbed my laptop from the passenger seat and got out of my SUV, and as I started to walk away, I had this feeling that I had forgot something, so I did the keys, wallet, phone pat down check and turned around to look at the car, and then I saw my son in his car seat. If I had kept walking I wouldn't have found him until I went for lunch, and by that time the temperature would be in the 80s and the inside of the car would be up to 100 or more. That was 22 years ago and I still have nightmares about it. Every time there's a news article about a baby being left in a hot car. The number of people commenting saying that they never could do this. It just pisses me off. Like, this shit could happen to anybody. I'm so glad your son was okay. I'd imagine you probably get that sick to your stomach feeling every time you think about that day. That all heart attacks have the exact same symptoms. They don't. Trust yourself and seek help ASAP if you are afraid that you're having a heart attack. Women also tend to have different symptoms than men. So it's good to be familiar with those. Quote, women are much more likely to get less common symptoms such as indigestion, shortness of breath, and back pain, sometimes even in the absence of obvious chest discomfort. Source, I've had 4 heart attacks. Unfortunately, my first one, for a week. My left arm steadily got more and more sore. That was the symptom. Although it got so bad that when I woke up, it was just killing me. I couldn't find a comfortable position at all. Ended up going to the ER and, surprise, heart attack. My second one I had arm soreness again and I kinda knew what that felt like. So I got checked out. And sure enough, my third one, I was fatigued. No soreness or other symptoms. Just really tired, so I went to my primary care to get checked out. They screened me for COVID, sent me to the hospital for an X-ray and lab work. Was about to leave when they called me and said, where are you? Go to the ER right now. My last one, I was feeling a little sore, not really great. I've had low blood pressure a couple of times, thought I was having that again. I wasn't, it was high. But I also had a small heart attack. I am, in case you're wondering, a guy. My symptoms have been more woman-like. Certainly not chest clutching at all, nor any shortness of breath associated with them. So I don't want to worry anyone. But read up on the symptoms, especially if your family has a history of heart issues. And don't fuck around. If you don't feel right, get checked out. My mom had very mild symptoms with her heart attack. She rated the pain as unimpressive. Her nurse co-workers dragged her to the ER. She's doing very well. This is the least alarming story of a heart attack I've ever heard, and it's a perfect illustration of the comment you're responding to. That's wild. Not having a carbon monoxide detector. I found this weird sticky note on my fridge today. For those unaware, OP thought someone was stalking them and placing sticky notes and letters and gaslighting them in other ways. They were freaked out that someone else was inside their house doing these things. Another Redditor pointed out that the culprit could have been the OP. And they were suffering from CO poisoning. Sure enough, OP got a CO detector and the levels were well above what's considered safe. The Goiânia accident. Less than Kyle Hill video on the incident. A court in Brazil had been made aware that there was an unsecured source of radiation in a condemned cancer treatment clinic due to be torn down, but did not let anyone safely remove it. A scrap collector went into the building, found the radiation source, broke it open, and found glowing blue powder inside. No one knew it was extremely radioactive cesium powder, and the glowing blue light emitted by the powder was beautiful. It was spread around much of the local city before reports of widespread radiation sickness prompted government emergency action. Multiple people died of radiation poisoning, including one 6-year-old girl. As an additional butthole clencher, the fire department very nearly threw the bag holding the remaining powder into the local river. Such a terrible incident. I use this as an example in training I sometimes give. If you don't know what something is, just don't touch it. You would be the only survivor in Prometheus.